Chapter 2, The Other Cup of Coffee.
Oh, I said, okay. She gave me a quick hug, the kind you give when your mind is already somewhere else. I'll text you, she said again. And then she went back inside. The door closed. The warmth stayed in. I looked at my watch. It was 12:40. Another gust of wind chilled me to the bones. As I stood there on the sidewalk, watching my daughter turn back to her friends, already absorbed in conversation again. My hands shook, and not just from the cold. These were the hands that had raised her, that worked extra shifts, that traveled 2 hours by bus for a simple cup of coffee and a piece of good news. I started walking toward the coffee shop she'd pointed out. Tears were starting to brim my eyes, then I stopped. Something settled in me, not anger, not sadness, it was clarity. I realized Susan hadn't misunderstood. She just expected me to wait. After 2 hours on a bus in the frigid temperatures, for coffee I was invited to, so I didn't. I turned around and walked the other way, the cold biting harder with every step. I walked until the cafe disappeared from my blurry view. I was holding back the wet tears as memories were flooding me of Susan as she was a child. I could see her laughter and her tears, her curly brown hair blowing in the wind as she swung on the tire tree, her little legs dangling, pushing her. The tire still swung in the backyard, and every now and then the wind would make it creak, and I would picture her swinging there. She was so full of life, but life hadn't been easy. Her dad had left us when she was only 9 years old. She was a resilient child and always knew what she wanted. Stay tuned for Chapter 3. Chapter 3, Susan's Message. I found another cafe and ordered a cup of hot peppermint tea. An hour passed by without a message from Susan. I tried not to cry. I left the cafe and I checked into a small hotel nearby. I pulled out my phone again, hoping for a message from my daughter, but there was none. So turned my phone off. Completely. Not to punish anyone, just to rest and sort through my feelings. I ran a long bath with the complimentary bubble bath and a glass of wine from the fridge. I just let my mind wander. I told myself that maybe tomorrow we'd meet. Maybe things would feel different in the morning. I settled in for a good night of sleep. The next morning when I turned my phone back on, there were 10 messages from Susan. With each one, her impatience grew, not a single word asking if I was okay. All about her frustration, her drama, her inconvenience. Mom, where are you? I thought you said you'd be here. I can't believe you left. You're ruining my day. Are you even coming? Don't you want to hear my good news? And so on, each one sharper than the last. I sat with it for a long moment. I put my phone back down. Then I packed my bag. On the first bus home, I finally texted Susan back, "I'm on my way home now. If you'd like to see me, you're always welcome here." I didn't leave angry. I didn't leave hurt. I left clear.
I hope you enjoyed Martha and story. Let's reflect on her journey together. Let me ask you, what would you have done? Would you have waited for your daughter? Martha Ann made a very hard decision that day. Let's take a moment to reflect on this. I think Marcia Ann showed quiet strength. She didn't yell, she didn't dramatize. She simply recognized her worth and set a boundary with calm dignity. That's hard, that's powerful. And it's a lesson we all need sometimes, especially when love is wrapped in expectation. My hope for Martha Ann is that her daughter will make it a priority to take a trip back home. It would mean everything to her. Kristy Ella's stories.